Welcome to Reddit Stories. I'm Shane, and today we are reading some of the wildest stories from the year 2024. These are stories that we have not read on the show, but they're some of our favorites, some of the wildest ones from this year. And I'm joined by two wild cast members here at Smosh, Courtney and Angela.
Hi.
Okay.
I can't wait for this one. Yeah, I really can't wait for this one.
We're amped.
Yeah, crazy year.
Yeah, absolutely crazy year. Some crazy stories here. Got a lot of updates.
Oh,
Just how I like it.
Yeah.
That's my favorite recipe.
And
yes.
we might have a little surprise for you guys later.
Okay, I love that recipe. What does that mean?
I don't know.
like a present?
Were you looking around at the ceiling? like the ceiling was gonna fall.
I thought like New Year's Eve, like ball,
confetti.
like ball drop.
or snow, or.
Wait a second. Haha, I got you with your.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Got you.
That's good.
That was
good.
awesome.
Not my inside joke, but love to be a part
you
of
were
it.
there.
Do you have a favorite story from this year, a favorite episode that you recorded this year? I know it's hard to look back and remember because we do so much.
This group of people was gonna get mugged, and then the guy ran
The
away.
guy ran away.
And left his wife.
Oh, yeah, I think about that one sometimes. Some stick with me.
Yeah,
where I'm
some
like-
stick.
I'm like, oh, and I just think about it a lot.
Yeah. Oh, like the one where the guy got excited to go on a date and he peed. I'll never ever forget my first Red story ever. When you and it's you and me, and I thought, and it's the catfishing thing, and we're like, I hope they.
Oh yes, that one was crazy.
Because I always think about that and see clips of that, and I go, I don't know what I thought that show was. I remember being like, what is this experimental, like, reading stories?
Well, let's read some weird stories.
And then the ball will drop.
And then the ball's gonna drop. Okay. Am I the asshole for refusing to cook after my boyfriend tried to critique my cooking with a literal PowerPoint presentation?
Oh.
It's an effective form of communication.
Not one of the love languages.
My love language is slideshows.
I'd be like, run, bitch, run.
So this happened a few days ago, and I'm still trying to process it. For context, I, a 28-year-old woman, have been with my boyfriend, who's 30, for about 2 years. We live together, and I've always done most of the cooking because I genuinely enjoy it. And he claims he can't even boil water without setting off the smoke alarm. The other night, I made one of our favorite meals, and while we were eating, he got a weird smirk on his face. He then says, "You know, I've been taking notes." I laughed, thinking he was joking, but then he said, "No, really, I made a presentation." I still thought it was a joke until he got up, connected his laptop to the TV, and opened a PowerPoint titled, "Improving Our Home Dining Experience." I was in disbelief as he went slide by slide critiquing my dishes. Slide 1, too much garlic. Slide 2, pasta consistency. Slide 3, more salt, less sass. The kicker was... The kicker was slide 8, which was just a photo of Gordon Ramsay face palming with the caption, "What he'd think." I was stunned. I told him if he had such detailed opinions, he should cook himself. He tried to backtrack, saying it was all in good fun and that he was just trying to help, but I wasn't laughing. I haven't cooked since, and now he's been living off cereal and takeout. He's sulking, saying I'm overreacting and ruining the joke. So, Reddit, am I the asshole for refusing to cook after my boyfriend presented me with a PowerPoint critique of my cooking?
What in the hell?
This feels like a literal example of don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Also, no such thing as too much garlic.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it right off the bat, disagree.
too much garlic. You can't
Not
have too much
possible.
garlic.
Okay, there's just so much to be said about he spent so much time thinking about her cooking in a negative way that he made an entire presentation.
Yeah.
Rather, like you could have used that time to do so many other things.
Could have learned a recipe.
Literally learned how to cook in that time. You spent so much time stewing over your partner's cooking styles that it compelled you, it inspired you to own them via PowerPoint.
Yeah.
This is truly, I don't know why she was offended mostly by the Gordon Ramsay one. It's the too much sass to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what?
More salt,
hurt.
less sass. It's also wild to me that I'm like, you're saying you're not a cook at all. You don't understand cooking, but then you're gonna give cooking critique.
Was that him trying to
And
do like
you're-
an alliteration? Like, too much salt, less sat, like trying to be
funny.
cute.
Maybe he watches Dropout and watched Smarty Pants and was like, let's do it.
It's like, here's my presentation.
Literally, what is he thinking?
I don't know what he's thinking, but it's not good thinking. This shows how a lot of people in these Reddit stories are like, oh, I can't cook. But it's like, no, there's the difference between can't cook and refuse to cook.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, oh, I cannot cook. I will not cook.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be his thinking of like, no, I'm not going to try it. And I get really annoyed too of like, when people are like, oh, I can't do something. It's like, you can learn. Like, no, you're not going to be some all-star chef, but you can learn basic cooking.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's like when people grow up thinking, especially I think like when men grow up thinking that cooking is a skill and not a chore. Because like, I know it is a skill. I know it's both of the, it's also like, it's an act of service. This person did this. Like you don't go, I can't mop. I don't know how to mop. You could be like, I'm bad at mopping. Like I'm a bad cook. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like where you're like, oh, no, this isn't something you can just be like, I'm bad at skateboarding, so I don't skateboard. No, it's like, no, we all have to do this in order to survive.
Right.
But because of these like gender norms, you can be like, oh, I just don't have those skills. Because like only like,
I just don't, and then to claim to not even be able to boil water is like, so then how do you even, are you even sure you know what garlic is, my guy? Like, and then I think I get really ticked off where he's now sulking around saying she ruined the joke. When did the joke start? When did that begin? Because it sounds like he was like halfway through a meal and was like, I have some notes.
yeah.
Like put down his like still warm plate and went and plugged in a presentation. Like, and yeah, I think a lot of it goes down to like not realizing how much work and care goes into it. Because Shane cooks for me a lot. I can cook, but he likes to cook.
To quote my favorite film, anyone can cook. I really think it. It's not a skill. We should all do it. We all can do it. Some people are better than others. That doesn't mean we shouldn't do it.
Right. It's literally to survive.
I'm really not, I'm not like a cook. I like following recipes, and it's easy to follow a recipe. There's plenty online that will show you step by step how to do every single thing.
Yeah.
All you need to do is read and just listen and do that.
Yeah.
This guy's gonna sit here and say, slide to pasta consistency. Then he's clearly admitting he knows something about cooking pasta. That he just doesn't.
Consistency?
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
I hate to break it to you, but they're all being cooked at the same time, so they should all be either al dente or normal. Or like it's not like somebody's going in at different times.
Her response to pasta consistency should be, okay, how do I do it? And if he's like, I don't know, it's like, well, then you.
Yeah.
Like, then you accept what I cook. Like, if you're not gonna cook, you kind of have to accept what's being cooked for you. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, and like there's if you're in a relationship where you don't like your partner's cooking, like this is the worst way to handle that. Like there's so many other ways to handle, like you can try cooking or be like, hey, can I help with this step? And then help, like being involved, not putting the burden of the food being bad also on them after the burden of cooking for both of you all the time.
Yeah.
Regardless of like the roles of it all, it's like, that's work.
The comments, I mean, the verdict, she's not the asshole, he's an asshole. Comments, holy shit, what a dick. If he can make a PowerPoint about all his complaints about your cooking, he can learn how to follow a recipe like a big boy. 26,000 upvotes. Someone responded to that. Seriously, I have a friend who never knew how to cook. He probably didn't until he was almost 40. He's also a very bright and talented lawyer. Then during COVID, he started making all kinds of meals for his family. When asked about it, he said, it's not fucking hard. You do what the recipe says. The man went from 0 to nailing his temps on duck in months.
Yeah, like TikTok for me in the pandemic made cooking so much less intimidating to me, and I started like making my own Alfredo sauce, like doing all these random things, and just feeling more confident to then just try to do my own stuff that wasn't in a recipe. It's like it's like the hardest part is just being confident with a stove, like truly.
Yeah, but also it's like, now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what's the difference between fucking cooking and a board game? Like, let that sit. You just follow the fucking rules and you do it and you learn. I don't know, like, it's so weird to isolate it as a separate skill from anything else and be like, I'm bad at cleaning, so I won't clean.
Let's be real. He doesn't want to.
No, yeah.
He's making an excuse.
And he doesn't think he should. Like, he thinks it is out of his league.
He can kill any Elden Ring boss, but he can't make a freaking casserole?
I'm like, I know your ass, like, knows how to fucking, I don't know.
No, with so many other skills, I'm sure he's like, oh, I could learn. But this, like, no, I can't learn.
No, you'd rather spend the time to make a PowerPoint with Gordon Ramsay in it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll learn how to chop wood.
Someone else said, not the asshole, don't bite the hand that feeds you, particularly if you can't feed yourself. Lastly, someone else said, not the asshole. Also, if you have the PowerPoint, you could try adding Gordon Ramsay on social media and have him tear your boyfriend a new one. I don't think he'd take too kindly to your boyfriend using him to be a shit.
I do a Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
You're a fucking bad boyfriend.
He just opens the door one day and Gordon Ramsay's there. He's like, I heard what you fucking said. Pulls out a gun, shoots him.
and then
he goes, never too much garlic.
Yeah.
Never too much fucking garlic. I'm Gordon Ramsay.
You can't have too much garlic, and I bet she did too much, and I bet she's too sassy.
The only time I don't listen to recipes is whenever it's the garlic amount, I double it.
Oh yeah, I assume every recipe, like every chef that's putting a recipe together assumes I'm a pussy. And like whatever the spices and the seasoning is, I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna ham it up. We're gonna
love that.
Big.
Especially like pastas, it'll be like 2 garlic cloves. I'm like, 2? What is this? We're doing 4.
What is this?
We're doing 38.
We're gonna double that and make it 50. Lastly, someone said, definitely time for a breakup PowerPoint.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
Let's go.
Nice. I get a cameo from Gordon Ramsay and break up with his ass.
Oh my God, get a cameo! Oh my God.
She probably doesn't have to get a cameo. She probably could just go to Twitter. Now, there's probably a pattern here, but do you think if this guy was a great boyfriend and he did this, do you think this is grounds for breaking up with him?
Good point. I think like also there's another part of this that like just to give the other side is like sometimes people go too all out in a joke and lose themselves, right? Like we know roasts when we think it's funny and like you're like, oh, this will be so funny because I'm committing so hardcore to it and you kind of lose. I don't think none of us do that, but like I think it's possible to be like, oh, I'm gonna commit so hard, it'll be so silly that she won't take it seriously because it's a PowerPoint. Mm-hmm. She can't possibly take this like to heart.
Yeah, I've been there.
But still, my guy, still not.
I have a hard time believing there's no pattern leading up to this, right?
And it's like, there's just so many moments where you're going through this PowerPoint and be like, gee, I wonder if there's like other steps before doing this, you know? And then like, I also think it's how he reacted to her reaction. Because she had every right to react in her way and be like, okay, then you can cook for yourself.
His reaction to her is the most telling thing.
Yeah.
Because he could have easily been like, oh, I'll cook. I'll learn how to cook. But no, he's refusing.
Yeah.
Straight up refusing. It's takeout. Cereal.
But
like,
and he's sulking.
I'm not. I love cereal and takeout. Let's be real.
Oh, I love cereal and takeout too. But it's just that he didn't even in these days go like, "Hey, I'll learn how to cook," or "Here, let me cook for you today." Like, no.
Oh,
refusing.
God.
Yeah, the sulking and the trying to make her feel bad. Update. Did you hear what I? Did you guys hear what I just said? Update.
What?
Holiday update!
Holiday update!
I say update, I look over and you guys are just like...
And then you were like, did you hear I'm bringing you guys to Disneyland?
Okay, update. Hey Reddit, so it's been a wild ride since I posted my original story about my now ex-boyfriend's infamous PowerPoint presentation critiquing my cooking. I can't thank you enough for all the support, laughs, and even the outrage on my behalf. Buckle up because here's the follow-up you didn't know you needed. After reading your comments and taking some time to process what happened, I decided that our relationship needed a serious talk. I sat him down to discuss how his presentation came across as not just unfunny, but pretty disrespectful. You know, typical mature relationship stuff. Well, what does he do? He smirks and goes, oh, I was prepared for this.
Bitch.
He actually grabs his laptop, connects it to the TV again, and presents me with another PowerPoint titled, How to Take a Joke, a Comprehensive Guide.
Oh my God.
He made a whole slideshow explaining why I needed to learn how to chill out and appreciate humor. Slide 1 featured a meme of a clown putting on makeup with my name plastered over it.
Oh! Who does he think he's talking to?
Slide 2, a bullet point list titled, Why Your Overreaction is Hilarious. Slide 3 was titled, How I'm Clearly the Comedian in This Relationship.
Cauterized.
Him sitting there like Joker, like...
She's like, she's a Joker. She's like...
Yeah.
A man telling a woman to chill out or that you're over-exaggerating, I've never thought it could be heightened to like a higher point.
Yeah, well,
and it is.
And the clown pick, bro.
At this point, I was too stunned to speak. But then he pulled out slide 6. Things you can do while not cooking because you're mad. The audacity, right? It was as if he really thought he'd win me over with this next level presentation. Spoiler alert, he did not. So I did what any rational PowerPoint-loving person would do. I made my own. I stayed up all night crafting a presentation called Why It's Time to Move On, a Farewell Guide. It had everything. Flowcharts mapping his incompetence in the kitchen, pie charts illustrating my happiness before and after the great presentation debacle, and my personal favorite, slide 9, a gif of Gordon Ramsay yelling, "Get out." This morning, I sat him down and went through my PowerPoint with the same energy he had given me. His reaction was priceless. He started with that same smirk, but lost it somewhere around slide 4. Top 10 reasons you're moving out today. By the time I got to the resources for finding your own apartment slide, he was packing a bag. Now, before anyone worries, yes, he did actually leave. And no, I didn't even have to threaten him with slide 12, which was just a photo of me blocking the Wi-Fi router. So yeah, we broke up and I'm single, happy and cooking meals for myself without any critique except my cat's judgmental stare. And to those who said I should make a breakup PowerPoint, just know your wish has been fulfilled. I still can't believe how all of this went down over the course of one single weekend. But I now feel pretty good about myself. Thanks for all of your comments and support. P.S. Oh, and fun fact, some of you were right. He actually is a business consultant, so making PowerPoint presentations is quite literally his day job.
I don't care.
I guess he took bringing work home to a whole new unwelcome level. I really hate, and it's a common tactic used when people do something and they get a response they don't like, they go, it was just a joke. Like, no, it's not. Like, there is some truth in comedy, but also, if you're making a joke for one person and they don't find it funny, then you are a bad comedian.
Yeah.
Then you suck. Then
you
you're
had
not
one
good.
person to make laugh that you think you'd know better than anybody else you're trying to make a joke to. It's your partner, and yet you've disrespected them more than I would ever even fathom to disrespect your partner like that.
I thought she was gonna say, and then on slide 12, my favorite, a pie chart of the amount of times he's made me
I truly thought she was gonna have something like that. No, she kept it pretty civil, pretty like professional.
But like using his logic, could you imagine if she said all that brutal shit about him and it wasn't necessarily like, I'm breaking up with you, but it was just like how awful he is. And then she went, kidding.
Imagine.
Yeah.
And he would have been like, no, I have to leave. This is awful. And then she goes, well, you can't take a joke. Let's go back to your PowerPoint presentation about how you should take a joke.
I'm also thinking like her slideshow sounds like it was really good. And like, what if he was like, I need to up my game at work. Like seeing her like Canva skills, you know?
That's funny.
I would love that.
He would not be able to take any joke she threw at him.
No.
You just know hearing this story that he cannot take what he's dishing out.
Oh no,
He's not dishing out anything because
his fucking lens is that when he's making a joke, it's funny, and when she's making a joke, it's sassy, and that's so fucking annoying.
Yeah, I heard this comedian Anthony Jeselnik who's like says really offensive jokes, right? Like that's his whole bit. But he was talking about how like he thinks of the Andy Warhol quote where it's like art is getting away with it. He's like, that's comedy. If you don't give your joke and it goes off, then you didn't do it well. You didn't do it well enough. If people are offended, you didn't land the joke.
Yeah, that's so true.
And like that's you can't pass something off as comedy once it's already failed.
Yeah.
That means it wasn't comedy. It means it didn't work.
Yeah.
You didn't do it. So you now need to apologize and be like, I offended you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it certainly wasn't comedy rooted in friendship.
He just sounds like a baby. He just truly sounds like a little baby.
A baby with a computer.
Yeah, and like, you know, to be funny, being funny requires intelligence. And like, I just don't think he was very much thinking this through, thus not being very funny.
Also, if you're gonna roast someone, you have to respect that person. You have to show respect for that person in your roast. And what he tried to do is he tried to just roast his partner fully, and it just was not respectful at all. There was no fun in it. Like, it was like, okay, you're trying to make her laugh, but all you're doing is saying you suck at this thing that you do for me that I don't contribute back to at all.
No, and it's just like he's making this thing that she works hard to do a joke. Like he's not taking her cooking anything seriously. But
There was a comment here. Your post was good enough that at least 2 people ripped it off within 24 hours of it being posted.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that happens on Reddit. So interesting pseudo second update to this. Although the OP OP posted this story, people found that this person is very active in the Chat GPT subreddit. So a lot of people are assuming this story could be fake. Like they generated this story. There's a lot of lines in here that are just kind of like typical Reddit lines, right? Like that are in Reddit stories. Like how they start off with, so it's been a wild ride since I posted my original story and my now ex-boyfriend's infamous PowerPoint presentation.
You're so right.
I can't thank you enough for all the support, blah, blah, blah. Here's the follow-up you didn't know you needed. Some other lines, my cat's judgmental stare. The cat was not referenced until just then. Buckle up because, this is the follow-up you didn't know you needed.
I know we're like kind of supposed to assume all the Reddit stories are fake because you never know what's real, but like, that kind of makes me bummed out.
That's only because they are active in the Chat GPT. There's no proof that this is fake. There's also a lot of people who make fake stories that we don't think are generated, but that's a theory.
Or it could have been a real thing that happened to them and they just used Chat GPT to help them write it.
Yeah.
Help punch it up.
They could.
That's true.
They could actively be active in there and not be using it for this.
It's fake.
Or it's fake.
It did really blow me away, that.
Yeah, that one stuck with you. I think you're going to be thinking about that tonight.
Yeah.
Like,
well, let us know in the comments down below what you think, if there's any more proof that's been discovered.
Is that the surprise? They all fake?
No.
Oh my God.
No.
So
but that would mean
sad.
OP is the asshole.
Yeah, you asshole.
That means OP could be some dude out there.
Do you know how many AI
You're
stories
so
are
right.
probably out there and it's like someone's built a whole career creating AI Reddit stories and then putting it to like AI video game content and then just like having a voice read it over. Oh no.
We're doomed.
Shane, are you AI?
I'm just an alien. It's like, oh, he's not AI, he's a squid. Okay, our next story. This comes from Best of Redditor Updates. It was originally posted on True Off My Chest. Okay. So we have a confession here. My childhood bully has become my coworker and she's bullying me again.
No!
This is gonna get me sad and mad together.
When I, an 18-year-old woman, was in 5th grade, ages 10 to 11 for any non-Americans, there were these new twins who moved from the other side of the country to join my class. For some reason, these 2 kids did everything they could to make my life miserable. I think it's because I was socially unaware and a bit odd as a child, but I'm not sure. The boy twin was this very big kid who would regularly beat me up, and the girl twin would humiliate and spread rumors about me. Of course, the teachers never did anything about it. Luckily, these 2 went to different middle and high schools, so I wasn't bullied and I had a pleasant time in school after that. Most kids were not happy about going to middle school, but I was excited for them to stop torturing me. However, last month, I got a job at a new grocery store in my neighborhood. However, last week, the girl who bullied me got a job at the same grocery store. At first, I thought, it's been 7 years, she probably changed, but just now, a few coworkers asked me, did you really have sex with the manager so you could get hired here? I shouted at them, no, and asked them where they heard that. And they said, the new girl told us. I don't want to go through this again. I am genuinely considering switching jobs to get away from her. I feel so lost and helpless.
Ugh.
What the
That's really fucked up.
Just like first week, it's just like, oh, yeah, I'm back.
Should we go? Yeah, so you're gonna just trust this new person who just started to the
First week.
Yeah.
You're
rumor.
a slut. You slept with our boss.
That's gotta be grounds for like reporting as sexual harassment. You're spreading rumors about like that's very, very
100%.
damaging.
Yeah.
That sucks.
If here at Smosh, we hired a new employee and in the first week they came up to me and said some crazy rumor like that about anyone here, I'd look them dead in the eyes and be like, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
This is your first week and you're gonna
literally.
ball that hard? All right.
That's crazy.
Give me the ball.
That's crazy. It sucks to be because like I heard I've been watching Vanderpump Rules and a character
And I'm a proud friend.
a character, it's a real person, but character in the show briefly explains like the psychology of gossip and how it like is to build community. And like, it's really unfortunate OP is the victim of this because like this sad bully has been trying to use this to get closer to other people their whole life. And it's just like a really sad, pathetic thing.
So they haven't seen him in 7 years. First week, month back, already spreading hardcore rumors. Not even starting small. Not even being like, yeah, I saw her like kind of, she's been eating some of the groceries.
The section?
I don't know. Like, what's a small one you could start off with? But just straight off of to she's sleeping with the manager.
That's so
intense.
Did the OP clarify that they're femme?
Yeah. OP is an 18-year-old woman.
And so the male twin was physically attacking her in school?
So the boy, she said, would beat her up and she would spread rumors.
Oh my God, they would go psychological and physical together?
Oh God, that's like literal warfare.
They're literally final bosses in Dark Souls.
They flanked her via bullying.
She's dealing with Ornstein and Smough.
I was literally about to say she's dealing with Ornstein and Smough. That's crazy sad.
Okay.
No update or anything? Or...
This is a dumb rumor to spread, too, because you have a third party, the manager, who can clarify that it's not happening.
And that manager would take that shit seriously.
Yeah, this actually affects the manager more. It's like, hey, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big deal.
Okay, this bully does not sound smart, so hopefully...
Yeah, and like for the record, if ever anybody does that to you at work, anything like that related, you can file a report for sexual harassment. Nobody can just talk, because it's happened to me in my career here in like long years past, but it's like, I didn't know that I could do that. And like, you can.
Yeah, and man, it sucks because getting a job is so hard, but like if you're in a place and you're being mistreated and then HR is not taking it seriously, I would try to, like in her situation, try to switch jobs, but make sure you can find another job. It sucks, man.
This also brought back like such a specific memory to me that I cannot believe this story brought back, which was, I remember at the end of middle school, I had a really toxic friend group and there was a lot of bullies. And I remember being like, I'm gonna go to a school without them. And they won't be there and make my life hell. And I remember the release I felt. I was like an 8th grader.
I can't imagine being someone who ruins other people's lives like that.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't fathom that.
I think when you're little, you don't, like, there's a lot of kids that will bully and it's because they see stuff.
And she's an adult now.
I know, that's when you're like, my fucking God.
Yeah. 18 is still very young and
I know,
stupid,
but like to be that bad, like to be consistently that bad, it's just, it's so sad. Comments, HR is your friend in these situations. She's making it a hostile work environment. Get a notepad and write down every time with the date and time and what the incident was. Keep a record of it. If you work at a small store with no HR, then go to management, but skip management if you have an HR to go to. I'm almost positive your manager doesn't want the reputation of being a sleaze and making 18-year-olds sleep with him to get hired, if he's a decent person at least. OP responded, the store doesn't have an HR, but I'll talk to my manager when I see him. Someone else said, I'm going to join all the people saying to talk to your manager. She's telling people that he makes teenagers sleep with him in exchange for work, and that's a massive and appalling accusation. I guarantee he'll care, and she'll be out on her ass, or at least on extremely thin ice, almost immediately. Someone else lastly said, girl, it's time to polish that spine. Go straight to your manager and tell him exactly what just happened. Tell him who came up to you and what they said and who they said told them. You're not that little girl anymore. You're a young woman in the real world, and that has real life consequences to this shit. Your manager will be furious about this, as it could have very serious consequences on his career and his home life. She's fucking with the wrong people now. All this has consequences, and she's about to find out big time. Keep your head held high, honey. Good luck.
Oof, yeah. I look forward to, like, it's wild the things you can get away with in school that you cannot get away with in the real world. And like, talking about Vanderpump Rules, like even in earlier times, like in this day and age, there's a lot you can no longer get away with and think is okay and appropriate to do in a workplace. Or in any like adult settings.
Well, and the reality is sometimes people get away with it in like a legal or professional sense.
Yeah.
Sadly. But this is what I've noticed throughout my like late teens, 20s, and like now that I'm in my 30s, is people who are consistently douchebags. You may get away with it in that you may not get in trouble, but at some point you will realize that nobody's close to you.
Yeah.
And the punishment, it's not like karma, it's just the nature of how, if that's your form of gravity of how you're treating others, you're gonna just push everything away and you're gonna be so alone at some point. And that's what's gonna happen to her if she just treats people this way. You're just, nobody's gonna trust you, naturally. Update.
Okay, please. Hey.
The last few days have been pretty chaotic. First of all, I found out the new girl at my workplace, who was my childhood bully, was spreading another rumor, claiming that my boobs were fake. I took the advice of most of the people in the comments of my post and sent an email to my manager telling him about how she made up a rumor claiming that I slept with him to get hired.
What is this, 2005?
Yeah, wow. Fake boobs at 18, I wish!
Her boobs are fake.
I wish.
If someone new was hired here and they came up to me and said about someone else being like, yeah, their boobs are fake, I'd be like, okay, what? They come up and they're just like, Spencer's butt is fake. I'm just
like, yeah, Anthony's hairline, straight from Turkey.
Did you know Ian has fake calves?
Oh my God.
That's actually awesome.
That's real.
I think that's a real thing. Okay, so she tells the manager. He responded saying that this is a very serious issue and that he wants me to come into work tomorrow to get my side of the story because my bully had a shift then. The manager came in looking absolutely furious. My manager spoke with her, me, and a few of my coworkers to see what was going on. After my manager spoke with my bully, I saw her leaving. She came up to me, said, "F you, you tattletale slut," and left. I asked my manager what happened to her at the end of my shift. He said, I spoke with her about the bullshit she was spewing. She tried acting innocent, but everyone I asked said that she was the one who made that shit up. She's fired. We don't have to worry about her anymore. I was kind of hoping that she would throw a temper tantrum, but that didn't happen. I finally stood up to her, thanks to the advice and words of support from Reddit. I'm pretty sure my past self, the little girl who had her backpack stuffed in a shit-filled toilet on her 11th birthday, would be so proud of me.
Oh.
That's... You can't be a tattletale if you're making up rumors about the person who's the tattletale.
No, and
that's not how that works even.
That's gonna be this girl's whole life, is even if she does end up very alone one day, I think it'll be tough because she has a twin, but like, she's not gonna look inward. Like, there's people that no matter how bad things get, they're still gonna blame everybody else. So it's like, no, it's not about the fact that she started rumors.
On her 5th job, she's gonna be like, I got fired again because people suck.
Yeah.
No, you spread rumors.
Literally. Also, this girl is like, it's like she's living in Gossip Girl or something.
I know, like slut. I'm like, whoa, I wear that as a badge on my chest. Hello?
I'm like, your boobs are fake? Who's your doctor?
Like, yeah. Like, let me know.
Drop the
Good price.
surgeon.
You work
I'm
at a grocery
kidding.
store and you got a boob job? Must have been an incredible price.
Yeah.
Oh.
What the fuck?
That's crazy.
Today's Red Stories is brought to you by ZocDoc. Look, there are some things in life that can be a total crapshoot, like trying a new takeout spot, jumping into a new type of workout class, or even mixing up your mornings with a different type of coffee. But finding the right doctor shouldn't be a total crapshoot. And with ZocDoc, it's not, because you've got more options than you know. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, eye care to skin care, and much more. Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. I used ZocDoc to finally book a doctor's appointment after years of avoiding it. It was so simple that I could just see all the doctors in my area and see when they were available. It made it so streamlined, and it's what it took to finally book an appointment. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/pitreddit to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/pitreddit. ZocDoc.com/pitreddit. Back to the show. Our next story was originally posted on our credit score, but it ended up on Best of Redditor Updates. First post from our credit score.
Okay.
Our credit stories.
So people, Reddit stories.
That was cool.
That's good.
That's good. Really good.
There it is.
That was good in the way it felt satisfying to hear it.
Yeah. Someone opened a credit card in my name and ran up a $6,000 bill. My mom told me to just ignore it. Turns out she was the one who opened it.
No! Oh, bitch!
Oh, bitch! Oh, bitch! Bitch!
Shut up, bitch! Shut up!
It feels good to do it sometimes.
Yeah.
Bitch!
And you should do it.
Shut up, bitch!
That was really amazing.
That was really good.
After that Beppardy, I've nailed it ever since.
Oh, was that Final Beppardy?
Yeah, saying the shut up. Okay. Looking for my next steps here as I'm still in college and 3 hours away from home. Long story short, I applied for a job for my last year of school, which required a background check. When I found out I didn't get the job a couple weeks ago, I wasn't too shocked, as I'm sure a lot of people applied for the spots. What did shock me was when I got a letter on Tuesday from the employer, which said information in my credit may have been used against me. It then listed a charged off account and multiple missed payments on an account. I've never been even a day late in my life for the one credit card I've had since I was 18. When I went to pull my credit, I saw the charged off account, which looks like it was last updated in June. Immediately, I figured my credit had been stolen and called my mom. She said if I didn't open the account, just to ignore it, and if I get sued, tell the judge an unknown person stole my identity. That didn't make any sense to me, as anyone could say that about anything whenever they get sued. When I told her I was probably going to talk to the cops about it, she said I wouldn't want those people in my life. My roommate said it sounded like my mom opened the account and doesn't want to get in trouble for it.
Oh my God.
I was able to speak with someone in the fraud department for the card, and they got me some information about it. Several cash advances from an ATM about a block from my mom's house, along with a couple of stores in my hometown. I told my mom all of that and asked her to come clean. She refused and got mad at me for accusing her of stealing my identity. Finally, I told her I am going to the police about it, and she blew a gasket, saying she needed the money and to mind my business. She said I can't call the police because they might revoke her probation. Felony battery charges from last year, and she might end up doing time in the county. I can't really sacrifice my future in this case, and while I love my mom, I'm devastated she'd do this to me. I think I should go to the cops, but I'm feeling some guilt about it.
Oh my God, felony battery.
Yeah.
Beautiful names. Like if they didn't mean what they mean, battery.
I know you're right. Like these are my
Next up
cats.
on the catwalk, it's Felony Battery.
Felony battery.
Wearing
Yes.
the new Calvin Klein.
These are my two cats, Felony and Battery.
Honestly,
Wow.
I love them. I love
A
them.
cat named Felony is crazy.
And battery?
Like feline.
Yeah.
Felony and battery are amazing,
Okay,
amazing names.
Amazing.
You know what's kind of tragic is that when I hear about like, oh, someone I know opening up a credit card in my name, I'm like, I immediately think like parents. I just think like,
Really?
It's mind blowing how many awful parents are out there
I can't
who do
believe-
not care about their kids at all and into their child's adult life are willing to just sacrifice them.
Yeah, that's just what's so shocking to me is like, because when you have a kid, you're like thinking about their future, you're hopefully investing in it, you're wanting to see their credit and future blossom. Like this parent had no regard, like you can't just ignore your credit like that. That was actively damaging and affecting your kid's future. And you're
Yeah.
saying to ignore it and let it continue to damage and hurt the credit and make it worse and worse. Like, and then, obviously like stealing from your child is crazy too.
Yeah, this happens a lot in Reddit stories or credit stories where it's no longer an am I the asshole situation. It's, oh, they're a criminal.
Yeah.
Oh, the
They
cops.
committed a crime and maybe there's a world out there, there's some crimes that don't make you an asshole, but most crimes make you an asshole.
Yeah, it sounds like we need to get those
I was
people
laughing.
involved.
You're not an asshole, you're a criminal.
Criminal, it's a different category. Like when you're breaking the law, especially like this where it's full on theft, full on identity theft and stealing of $6,000, and then you're trying to lie about it and deny it, and then when you're caught, you're trying to guilt trip them. It's like, why did you do this?
And you're kind of like forcing your kid to go into the caretaker position because like you're just like inherently they love you, right? So they're like, I don't want to put you in a bad spot.
Yeah, like they obviously don't want to put their parent in prison or jail, but it's like, I feel like the parent is fully taking advantage of every angle of this situation. It's like, I know their information, I'm taking their money, I'm taking advantage of how they feel about me, like completely.
What frustrates me is that just they were able to do this.
Yeah.
Get to this stage.
I know.
Comments The utter balls of someone wrecking your credit and then telling you to mind your business when you try to hold them accountable for it. Someone else said, it's either your responsibility and you take the hit, or you let the law take care of it and you get your perfect credit back. Your mom said she wouldn't want those cops, people in her life. Well, she shouldn't have committed identity theft then, while on probation, no less. She obviously didn't learn anything from her last run-ins with the law. This woman wrecked your credit and potentially lost you the job you applied for. Ugh. Lastly, someone said, your mom didn't feel any guilt about ruining your credit and costing you a job. If she doesn't accept the consequences of her actions now, she will do it again. That's the ultimate reality. Like, and she may never learn her lesson, is the sad thing. I don't know how she goes about preventing her mom from doing this to her again.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna do? Change your social security number? Change everything about you? Like,
I don't know. I don't know how you do that. But update.
Hey. Okay, I don't know.
Like, my mom is the lead mob boss in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're making a movie about her.
I ended up filing a police report for identity theft. The day after I did it, I got a call from an investigator and we talked about it for 20 minutes. We also talked a little bit about the job I applied for, which is federal, and he said their background investigator would definitely be pulling his report for the identity theft. Because of that, I decided to go through with charges. Last week, the investigator called me back to confirm I would be willing to testify against my mother, though he didn't think it would come to that and would likely end with a plea. I told him I would. Yesterday, my mom got arrested on her way home from work. She has an initial appearance this afternoon, but on her previous felony, it looks like a petition to revoke has been filed with a date later this month. I feel like she's going to snap like she's never snapped before on me when she gets out, probably later today. I don't plan on answering the phone.
Oof.
Update number 2.
Okay.
My mother had her petition to revoke hearing yesterday, and from what I understand, the investigator for my identity theft case made a statement and her probation was revoked. She got remanded into county jail immediately. My sister was freaking out all day yesterday trying to get my mom's affairs in order since we have no idea when she'll get out. I haven't heard from the investigator since the call a few weeks ago, but I take it as a good sign he made a statement and my mom's probation was revoked. Another good thing is that the account came off of my credit report. My credit is back above 740 with no negative marks. I feel like I've at least gotten some justice since she's back in jail, even if it isn't specifically for identity theft. I'll make another update once I figure out what's happening with my case. That's the last we've heard. Oh, that's so tragic to have to send your own mom to jail.
Well, what's scary is like the first update being like, I'm gonna send her to jail and then I'm gonna have to deal with her reaction after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, because it's not like she's gonna come out of there and be like, I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's not gonna be like that.
Obviously a reactionary person. I feel so bad for her.
I feel so bad for people who have parents that they have to like deal with.
And that they have to parent.
Or worry about, or like, it's just like, because the idea of, cutting off family members sounds crazy to me, but some people really have family members where it's like, they're going to commit crimes against you for the rest of your life.
And them being family doesn't excuse this.
Yeah, they think because they're family, they can do that
100%.
Okay, moving on. Am I the asshole for woo-hooing with my husband? I, young adult female, am a struggling college student. I was desperate for money and I met an incredible man.
What?
Elder man, okay.
An elder man.
I, a young adult female, am a struggling college student. I was desperate for money and I met an incredible man who's an elder man, and he was absolutely loaded. Unfortunately, he was married with kids. I joined their household to become a nanny for their children, and one day when his wife was swimming, she accidentally drowned. I was the only witness. If only those walls hadn't appeared. Truly tragic. Of course, I had to comfort the poor widower, and once he was done grieving, we started to flirt a lot. Then we got into a relationship.
What's happening?
Sadly, his kids hated me because they said I was mean. I am not family-oriented, and I may not like kids, but I am not mean. And sadly, his kids, teens and one child, moved to a different house completely on their own. I ended up marrying my now husband.
You have to go slower.
How many years have happened?
I ended up marrying my now husband, and we had a habit of woo-hooing frequently. Unfortunately, one day...
Having sex?
That means having sex in some worlds, yeah.
Unfortunately, one day after around our 10th session in one day, he dropped dead in front of me. I am completely devastated because now I have so much wealth out of nowhere and my husband is gone. His children are saying I did this on purpose, but it's not my fault. My husband was irresistible.
Okay.
Am I the asshole?
There's only one place that all of this could happen in a short period of time. And it's the same place that you woohoo. It's The Sims.
You woohoo.
So I guess we've discovered a new subreddit.
Woohoo. I dabble in woohooing. And you can die. You can woohoo to death. You can die from woohooing to death.
Have you woohooed people to death?
I can't remember. I've played so many times.
Wait, this makes sense with the walls appearing.
Yeah, walls appearing, family-oriented, young adult.
Family-oriented.
These are all things that are like traits and things that are in Sims that you have, and your kid's moving out so fast. I'm like, I'm sorry, I thought you were in college. Wait.
You got him! What? I was like, I honestly, for a second, I thought I was tripping. I was like,
Yeah, no, this all really
Like, now
happened.
this isn't AI?
So there's a subreddit that is Am I the Asshole Sims? Where people just recount Sims stories.
That's awesome.
and at the end of the day, it's like, you're not, you're a sim.
Like,
You're not an asshole,
physically
you're a
not
sim.
in control of what you do.
Yeah.
One comment, not the asshole, the walls are the asshole. Seems to me like this was a sign from the universe. So weird how life seems to be planned.
Oh my God. Wow. I bet this Sims subreddit about Emily Asshole is so witty. I bet everyone's so witty.
Woohooing.
Woohoo.
They're just woohooing.
Woohoo.
Okay, we'll move on to our next story here. So this is from a subreddit called Donor Conceived, so people who conceive from a sperm donor.
Okay.
People, not sims.
Not
Sims. You
Okay.
can't do that in
Okay.
Sims. Unless you have a mod, I think.
I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 23% related to my husband.
20%?
23%.
23? Related?
Okay, my brain's so from the last one, I thought you were gonna be like, I just took a DNA test.
Turns out I'm 100% that bitch.
Okay, this person got a sperm from a sperm donor.
And they're
it turns
related
out
to their husband.
They're 23% related to my husband.
Okay.
Hey everyone, I've known my whole life that I'm a donor conceived. I grew up in New South Wales and my parents were always open about it, so it was never some big secret. I didn't think much about it beyond that, though, until a couple of years ago when my husband and I decided to take an ancestry DNA test. Okay, so she was conceived from a sperm donor.
Via donor, yes.
Via donor. Okay, I think I was confused if like she was pregnant and like whatever.
100%,
Okay.
100%.
So she was a sperm donor baby. All right. So she and her husband decided to take an ancestry DNA test. We thought it'd be fun. Maybe I'd find some half siblings and he'd learn a bit more about his side of the family. Well, we got the results and I matched with him, my husband, as a half sibling.
Oh, sibling. Half sibling.
At first, I thought it had to be some kind of mistake or maybe I misunderstood something, but no. After looking into it, we realized his dad was also a donor and no one ever told him. Now here we are, married for years with 2 kids. And we're still trying to figure out how to process the fact that we're siblings. I don't even know how to explain how I feel. It's just overwhelming. I love him, of course, but this changes so much.
Oh my God, no, this makes me like kind of want to cry.
You gotta move.
We've already spoken to a genetic counselor and we're trying to move forward, but it's like everything we thought we knew about our family has been flipped upside down.
Oh no.
I just feel kind of lost. Has anyone else here gone through something like this? I'd really appreciate hearing from anyone who has dealt with something similar or even just your thoughts. I mean, what are the chances of that?
I know. I'm like, damn, are there just like hella donors in this city?
Well, there's plenty of donors out there, but the chances of being a sperm donor baby, just the chances of stumbling upon someone who is the chances of meeting someone who is a half sibling that you didn't know was a half sibling already, chances of that, amazing.
Yeah.
And then you start dating and then you get married and you didn't know like the whole time.
I just feel like this connection with you. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's our blood DNA.
I can't. Oh. Okay, sometimes when I have a parking ticket on my car, I see it and then I hide it from myself. And I pay it, but I hide it from myself. Like I don't put it in viewing sight because I'm like, no matter what had happened, and I can't look at it. Just stop, don't think about it. I think I would do that. I'd be like, you're my husband, we're happy, don't think about it.
Oh my God.
You're my brother. Don't think about it.
They already had kids. They already had kids.
You cannot tell them. You cannot tell the kids. No, I would immediately go, let's do a lot of drugs and forget this happened.
Oh my God.
That's what I would do.
I have nothing I can say on this one. I don't.
I think it's important.
If a buddy of mine told me this story and they're like, yeah, so it turns out my wife is my half sibling, I'd just be like,
You know what I would do? I would call the ancestry place and I'd say, I'm going to give you a lot of money to tell me that was fake.
Oh my God. I just like.
lie to my face.
I need you to lie to my face for the rest of my life.
If I think it's important that if you're a parent and you are also a donor, you should let all your kids know that you were a donor, because it's important to know that you have other siblings out there, whether you need to connect with them or not. But like,
That's a fair point.
because if she had known that, maybe they would have had those tests done sooner. But they are so fortunate that they have healthy children
And a healthy life. And oh my God,
And
I'm
I
going
would
to text
just-
my mom and ask. We should all ask.
Yeah, I mean, we're fine. I've done my DNA test and your parents did, and like, we are not. It's funny, like, we have families who lived in like parallel like states and stuff, but just missed each other. I don't know why that was relevant.
No, it's not a common coincidence. You have nothing to worry about. This is a 1 in a million.
This is a lightning strike situation in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
Comments. I think you need some family counseling, first between you and your husband, and then later down the road when you inevitably tell your children. I'm not sure if you were able to take leave from work, but it would be a good idea to look. OP said, I'm in therapy myself, but unfortunately my husband is not open to that right now. He's in a big denial phase and does not wish to talk about it.
Oh no! Oh
He's doing
no!
me.
It's just the beginning, folks.
God, this may be the craziest Reddit story I've ever heard.
It's the most, there's not, there's
no
plenty of stories
solution.
where like, I can offer no good opinion. I can offer my reaction.
You can offer sympathy.
But this is a story where I'm truly like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
I don't know if there is anything.
And this isn't like a lot of stories where it's like someone's morals or someone's beliefs.
Right.
Or,
It's like if someone came up to me and was like, I just got struck by lightning 10 times in a row, I'd just be like, oh, well, that's crazy.
yeah.
You got struck by lightning 10 times in a row.
Oh gosh, I can't imagine what that must feel like inside, and how like that truly flip your world upside down.
And truly, the most tragic part of this is like, it's not like many people out there can share the experience with them.
Right.
It's not like there's a group for them to go and be like, did this happen to you too?
Yeah.
It's like, this is one in a billion chance, it feels like.
Maybe you could do a really popular podcast about it or something.
Yeah, like maybe you can't be like
Like write a book.
like. Do you think they're gonna stay together? Like, can we just like let's
okay.
spill for a little
I feel
bit.
bad I
hold
made
on,
it a
hold on,
monetary
hold on.
thing, so I take that back.
Hold on. Update.
Oh my God, I'm literally scared.
This might be my, here we go. Oh, you
I
have to go.
love how I start these stories by saying they're from Best of Redditor updates, and then by the time we get to a point, we forget that it's.
And I go, this might be the
update.
best.
Okay, so you were saying, because I think the only thing that I am wondering, I'm like, are they going to stay together or not?
That's our big question.
Because it's like no more kids.
It's gonna
no
hurt.
more kids. Incest is illegal.
Yeah, there's a certain inherent risk there. I mean, they're in New South Wales. That doesn't.
Because I don't know what the rules are where else. But.
Probably the same. I mean, look, there's so many factors that I'm curious about.
Oh my God.
Let's just get into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for all of the responses, support, and advice. I've taken some time to process, and I wanted to provide an update on where we're at. First, I've been in individual therapy and working through everything. It's been incredibly helpful to have a space to just unravel my thoughts. My husband has also told me that he's open to couples therapy, which is a big step for us, and I'm hopeful it will help us navigate this together. To confirm some things, yes, my father-in-law is the donor, which makes him not only my husband's father, but also mine. It was a lot to take in. We're both really angry that my husband's dad never told him the truth. And at the moment, neither of us are talking to him. It's just too much. We've also discovered about 40 other siblings so far, all of whom live nearby. That was another layer of this experience where we weren't prepared for. We haven't met them all yet, but knowing they're out there brings its own set of challenges and questions. As for our marriage, no, we're not divorcing. We love each other and are committed to working through this, but we haven't told our children yet. We plan to get professional advice before we do. This isn't something we want to rush into without understanding the best way to approach it for their sake. I know many of you are part of the donor-conceived community, and I just want to say that while I'm very aware and involved in spaces like We Are Donor Conceived, and I follow creators like Laura High, Donor Dylan, The Queer Mama, Rachel, Strangers Like Me, DC, Sunny, Evie Lucas, etc. I'm not interested in speaking to anyone publicly about our situation. I'm really proud of people like Victoria Hill for going public, but that's not what's best for my family right now. Thanks again for listening, for the advice, and for your understanding. We're taking this one day at a time.
That was
So I
my
guess
fear.
there's a lot of creators that are in, I don't know about this situation.
They're just
But, like,
but
donor
donor conceived. But she mentions Victoria Hill. I don't know anything about Victoria Hill.
I don't know. I mean, this was kind of my fear. I just like had this feeling that the fact that this happened, I was like, I have a feeling that this donor was busy. Like, and I would be concerned, like, if you guys stay in this same town, you should make sure, like, when your kids grow up and start dating, that they aren't related to the people that they're dating. If they're all in this city,
I mean,
still, you know what I mean?
I know. I didn't think it was like such a local thing. Like I thought those things were like, I don't know.
I don't know anything about it. I really don't know much about donors and how it operates, but it does seem wild to me that, like, especially because I know I've heard of that documentary of the guy with 1,000 kids, where it's like, wait, if you can donate, if those types of issues can happen, like, people need to know, like, that chance is out there.
That's like how cats affect the ecosystem because they kill so many birds. Like, it's like a thing that we need to know about and like
you
work
need,
on it.
yes, 100%.
Yeah, transparency is certainly a factor. Wow, that might be the wildest story
I think
ever.
that's the craziest.
Like stories that baffle me, and that's certainly one.
And like I'm happy for them that they're still like wanting to stay together and be there for each other. It's like I don't know what that would do to my psyche. You know, like I think that would mess me up pretty bad.
Ooh, yeah. Well, maybe we'll get an update again someday from them, but wow.
Sounds like she's doing what's right though, which is just like not making this like a public facing thing yet, or if that's what she wants to do. She's just like, they're just figuring it out.
Yeah,
first.
it does not need to be a thing.
She needs to like figure out what they do for their kids.
Yeah.
Whew. Well, are we ready for our final story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, before we begin this, we have a fun surprise for both of you. We've talked about this all year, but it's time to actually do it.
What?
Guys, it's time to get our pancakes out. It's time for our final Reddit story of 2024. Get the pancakes out.
What? They're huge! They're warm. They're warm.
I have to read, unfortunately, but here, we can just set them here for decorative effect.
Oh my God, this is beautiful.
Wait, look. Look how warm. This looks like a fake pancake.
Thanks, guys.
These look so good.
Oh, that smells amazing. I love pancakes with strawberries on them.
It's Saturday morning. Get your pancakes out.
Oh my God, it's Saturday morning. Get your pancakes out. I was like, wait. I like forgot that reference. So when Shane said that, I was like, are you talking about my flat ass? Get my pancakes out.
I also didn't know this was a thing until you told me about it.
Yeah, man, you said it and people loved it. This is like the new slogan for the show, get your pancakes out. Everyone commented on every single one.
This is so fun! Post your pic with your pancakes for this app.
Are we ready for our final story?
Can I tell you something that happened recently?
Yeah?
Sure.
No, we're not ready.
No.
I've ordered pancakes now twice from IHOP on a Saturday morning.
Awesome.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's ever happened to you guys where you have the same Postmates driver and they recognize you.
No.
He brought me the IHOP Postmates. I was gonna make a TikTok about it, but I forgot. He hands it to me and he goes, "Hey, tradition, I guess." And I'm looking at this bag of pancakes that I paid way too much money for shitty pancakes, and I was like, I have a problem. That was it.
Hey, they're not shitty pancakes.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think there's a shitty pancake to exist.
It's hard to mess up a pancake. It's like pizza. It's like if you have bad pancakes or pizza, it's like they did it bad on purpose.
Yeah, that's a sinister act. This is incredible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our final story.
Okay.
This comes from True Off My Chest. I owe my career to a YouTube channel.
Oh, no.
Let's talk about Jacksepticeye.
Okay.
I've been wanting to tell this story for a long time, but couldn't find the place for it. When I was an undergrad, I was an engineering major. I absolutely hated it, but it's just what my family had expected me to do. Everyone on my dad's side of the family was an engineer, and my future career had been sealed before I was even born. I did an internship at a company during the summer of my sophomore year, and I realized that there is no way I could have a happy life in this field. It was not the life I wanted for myself. Throughout the next year, mental health declined, and so did my grades. I had been a straight-A student in school and was suddenly failing multiple classes. These grades deeply impacted my anxiety and self-image. Wanting to take a break from my surroundings, I went home one weekend in October of my junior year, and I broke down while I was working on homework. My mom heard me crying and asked what was wrong. I finally told her everything. I told her how much I had hated that internship, how I didn't understand what I was studying, and what all of this had done to my self-confidence. My mom just comforted me and told me not to bring it up to my dad for the weekend. I got back to my university a couple of days later and got a call from my dad. My mom had waved her magic wand and convinced him to let me change my major. To this day, I still have no idea what that conversation was between them. All I know is that it gave me a freedom I never had before. The new problem was I didn't know what I actually wanted to do. I had never even considered a future where I wasn't an engineer. By this point, it was almost November, and I had about a month and a half to declare my new major. I immediately made an appointment with our career counseling department, but the process had been slow, and I didn't get enough clarity to specify a major. Earlier that year, I had started watching Smosh on YouTube.
Oh, fuck me.
It was a comedy channel and gave me a much-needed break from the stress of my life. They had started a podcast, and I was listening to an episode while searching through college majors on my university's website. The episode was about things everyone present enjoyed. One of the members, Shane, was working towards a psychology degree and talked about how intriguing he had found the subject. I listened to him talk about psychology with an enthusiasm and passion I had never had for engineering. He discussed how psychology helped him better understand people because of certain biases we all experience. It was enlightening to see how his choice in education better helped him understand the people around him and even himself. I thought about how I needed to learn more about myself because I had started to question my entire identity as a student and the person I thought I was going to become. By the time his segment was over, I had scheduled an appointment to meet with a psychology advisor. In 2 days, I had informed my family of the new major, and within a week, I had officially switched majors. This month will be 5 years since I stumbled onto that podcast episode. I graduated with my bachelor's in psychology, got a master's, and just began my PhD in school psychology at a pretty prestigious program. The people on Smosh jokingly give Shane crap all the time. Yeah.
Hey, not me.
Never once.
Not me.
The people on Smosh jokingly give Shane crap all the time about his degree being useless, and while he may not use it on a day-to-day basis, it truly changed my life. I have always been someone who extensively plans everything, so I can't say what pushed me into psychology after I heard Shane talk about it for 10 or 15 minutes. The road wasn't easy, and things aren't perfect by any means, but I'm a lot happier, more confident, and motivated, and feel like I'm working towards something meaningful, more meaningful than I was 5 years ago. Wow.
Oh my God. And that must have been, so 5 years ago.
He's got a PhD. I'm down here with my
He's
bachelor's.
a real degree.
He's a real psychologist.
He's a real degree.
And he got one in person for bachelor's.
Oh my God.
That's
and so
pretty
they're talking
cool.
about like back in when
I think that was
Smosh
the OG Smosh cast where I was talking about it.
Oh!
That's before I graduated, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's before you threw me my graduation.
Mm-hmm. Oh! Have you seen that video?
No.
That'll wreck your
that'll
shit.
make you
We
cry.
can't let her see that.
No.
Yeah, wow.
That's really awesome.
I really love that. Like, it's just so amazing how something can just stick and pivot your life in such a positive way. Like, I think those things are meant to happen. Like, you know, whether you believe in destiny or fate or how everything's just like, you know, it's become now full circle that we're here talking about it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I'm like, oh, was I the catalyst? But I feel like he probably was. He was really searching for the thing, and you know, he's probably hearing all sorts of things all the time. And then hearing this podcast, it was the thing that stuck. And so I'm so glad that it worked out for him. Like I'm so glad he didn't. He's like, yeah, and I heard Shane talk about this, and I went and got my psychology degree, and yeah, it fucking sucks.
Oh my
and I
God.
can't use it. And so you, Shane.
No, Shane, you were the dust in his wind.
The dust.
You were the dust in his wind.
I can't. I'm
The
so happy to
syrup
be
in
the
his
dust in your wind.
pancakes.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty
I'm
cool.
a fucking wreck at that.
I know, we gotta show her the graduation video though.
I think like when people just open up and say that something really small on our channels did something huge for them, that makes what it's just like, you can't, it's just,
It drives me for the next several years to like hear stuff like that. Cause that's why we do it. Like everybody does this type of work for different reasons, but like for me, such a huge fuel is like hearing how people are impacted and driven forward. Like,
Yeah. No, it means becoming a school psychologist. That's so incredible.
That's incredible. These are so good.
Yeah, this is so incredible. What's the story?
This is the best, like one of the best pancakes I've ever had.
anyway, what's going on?
That is so incredible. For a second, I was like, okay, what on Smosh Mouth could they study right before it happened? And I was like, Harambe or...
No, I became a clown. That's really cool. Well,
Love
that
that.
means a lot. I like how the top comment. What do you think the top comment was?
You're my favorite piece
Where's
of
Anthony?
No. These are good quotes. No, the top comment was impressive. Which it is. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Stop.
Feels like the last day of school.
This?
Yeah.
Whoa, holy shit.
What do you mean? Look at me.
You perfectly cut it in half.
Sorry, you talk a lot.
You're
You get to
eating
eat.
that pancake like a sim.
You've been ranting for 45 minutes about psychology. They edited it out, but you were ranting for 45 minutes about psychology.
Thank you both for being here.
This is the best episode ever.
This literally was the best episode ever.
This was a lot of emotions. We need that person with a PhD in psychology to give their thoughts on some of these things that we're reading.
Totally.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And yeah, thank you. And I'm so happy to hear that my nonstop talk about psychology has had an impact on someone.
That's really awesome.
I'm glad I've inspired someone to become a psychologist, which I am not. I say that all the time. People are like, Shane's using his psychology degree. I'm like, I'm really not. I took a few classes over the course of 10 years.
Practices general empathy. Wow, really?
That's so true.
Whoa.
You're like, if I was in their shoes,
Guesses the two of clubs. That psychology degree coming to work. I'm like, no, I don't know what that was. That was playing Bellatro. Now, all right. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for the pancakes.
yeah.
Thank you for the pancakes.
Hope you got your pancakes out.
Our pit directors who make this show are
Yes.
they're the
amazing
syrup
women.
to the
Thank
pancakes.
you to Emily and Bailey for finding all these stories. The amount of stories you guys have to read that don't make it onto this show.
Yeah, bro. It's
Oh
poop.
my God.
As someone who used to help make those episodes, you dig through a lot of poop.
They do a lot of good work.
No, you don't understand the sacrifices they make. The amount of stories they have to read. They sometimes look in the mirror and they're wearing a fedora, and they have to keep. they appear on their heads, and that's what happens when you read that much Reddit.
They do such a good job. Where'd you get these?
These have been some wild stories in 2024, but fret not, we will be back in 2025 with more Reddit stories every Saturday morning. So you'll keep getting your pancakes out every weekend with us. We'll see you next year. Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm a pancakes half full kind of girl.
I'm getting the one at the bottom because it's soaked in syrup.